wagon, Toro. I'll make a report to the commandant.
Sure thing, Kit. Don't anybody touch this wagon until we get the orders from the CO of this fort, entienden? Hey, you fellas can go rest up. El Toro will watch things, no? On second thought, stay here and watch the wagon till I get back. Senorita! Oh, this cannot be. One so young and beautiful carrying a thing so heavy. Caray, it's empty.
Well, I haven't filled it yet, but it's very heavy when it's full.
Nothing is too heavy for El Toro the bull. I get the water for you.
You're a stranger to Fort Mojave, aren't you? Looks like you've traveled a long way.
See, you bet. Kit Carson and I have traveled all the way from Santa Fe.
Santa Fe?
See, you bet again. Right now, we're on a highly important mission for General Fremont. At this moment, Kit Carson is reporting to the commandant of this fort.
We did all we could to keep our mission a military secret, sir.
Nevertheless, rumors got here ahead of you that you were escorting an Army payroll from Santa Fe to the military base at San Pedro.
Oh, in that case, I'll have to put in a request for a military escort the rest of the journey.
It won't be necessary, Carson. I have made other arrangements.
You sent for us, sir?
I did, Lieutenant. I wanted you and Mr. Taggart present while I showed Mr. Carson the approximate route of the new shortcut across the desert.
A shortcut?
Surprised, huh? Take a look. Instead of going around an area roughly equivalent to 4,000 square miles, it is now possible to go direct from Fort Mojave to Joshua Wells, dropping 3 days from the time usually spent in travel.
4 previous attempts have been made to find a shortcut across that area. 3 of the parties never been heard from again. How about the water?
No, plenty of water. I know of 2 natural springs and a water hole.
Well, would you show us on this map the exact route of the shortcut?
Well, I could, but I won't.
Why not?
Well, because I intend to get paid for guiding parties across that stretch, and if every soldier in desert rap knew the way, I'd be looking for another job.
Oh, I see your point, Taggart. Well, being that Taggart won't show us the exact route across that desert, perhaps you could give us some further proof that a shortcut actually does exist.
Why don't you show him that proof, Major? Take a look at this.
Front page of a Los Angeles newspaper.
Notice the date it was printed.
September 15th. Why, today is only the 18th.
Exactly. If that newspaper had to travel here by the regular route, we wouldn't be getting it till day after tomorrow. Is that proof enough for you, Carson?
In black and white, I've got to believe it.
That will be all, men.
Toro would do anything. He'd even go to the president of these United Estados if that is the way to get permission.
If you're sure you can arrange it, I'll tell Grandfather.
It's a cinch strap. Look, here comes Kit Carson now. All I got to do is ask him.
El Toro!
Un momento. You stay right here. I fix up everything. Oh, caramba. All the water's leaking out while we're talking. Never mind. I'll be back and get you some more. Kit, the senorita I just met has to get her grandfather to a hospital in Los Angeles. So I told her I'd ask you to let them travel with us.
We're not going any further west on this mission.
What do you mean, Kit? We're taking a you-know-what shipment to San Pedro.
As soon as we get some rest, we're going to Santa Fe.
Oh, caracoles, you're making a joke.
I'm not joking, Toro. The Major just used his authority to relieve me of all further responsibility in connection with this mission.
Senor, por favor, I would speak with you.
Well?
Would you use your influences with the Major for a very worthy cause, senor?
What are you talking about?
Well, tomorrow you guide a party to Los Angeles, ¿verdad? Would you ask the Major to tell the lieutenant in charge to make room for one more wagon? It's important in order to save an old man's life.
That's none of my business. You better ask him yourself.
Well, I already did, but he said no. Hey, Kit! Kit, you my friend.
Well, you know that. Why do you ask?
You're the best friend a fella ever got.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What are you leading up to?
Kit, you gotta get the commandant of this fort to let the senorita and her poor grandfather I was telling you about.
Travel with Taggart in the morning. I know.
That's right.
The answer is no.
Why not?
Toro, I've traveled every inch of this country. You know that. Supposing they get lost. What happens to the girl and the grandfather in that case?
You could be wrong. You're not the only guide in the world. Anyway, go ahead. Don't ask the commandant. Don't do me no favors. Just be so sure you're right that maybe a poor old man gets so sick that he die. Rita, you it's El Bull again, El Toro.
That's El Toro now, Grandfather. He's making the arrangements to get you to the hospital in Los Angeles.
Yes, come in, Sally.
Come in, El Toro. Grandfather wants to thank you for everything you're doing.
It's nothing. And you have no idea how much truth there is when I say nothing.
You're entirely too modest. Come in.
Come in. Come in. Make yourself to home, my friend.
El Toro, this is my grandfather.
Mucho gusto, senor.
Just call me Trader Bill for short. I was one of the first settlers to drive a wagon over the Rockies. I've been trading ever since I was knee-high
Now,
to...
the medical officer said you were to keep real quiet. Grandfather will need all his strength for the trip, won't he?
Oh, sure, senorita, the trip. Maybe he shouldn't take that trip until he's better, no?
According to that young medical whippersnapper, I won't be feeling any better, only worse.
But the doctors in Los Angeles can patch up your leg and maybe save it.
Who will drive the wagon when you go?
Why, I will.
Do you have to go with that detail tomorrow? Why don't you take the old trail yourselves and leave tonight?
I can't risk being robbed of my life savings. I got almost $2,000 in cash in this wagon. Oh,
Now, it serves you right. The doctor said you weren't to talk so much. Grandfather must rest now. But you'll be sure to tell me when we're to get ready to go, won't you?
El Toro! I just fixed it with the major. My friends can go with Taggart in the morning.
Gracias, amigo, gracias.
We're on our way.
Bye, El Toro. Thanks for everything.
Adios, senorita.
Not many men for a payroll wagon.
That's the colonel's idea. Too many men would attract the wrong kind of attention.
Kid, you act like you still don't think there's a shortcut.
As you said, Toro, I might be wrong. And for their sake, I hope I am.
Hey there! Have you heard the news? California's been admitted into the Union. We're a state. Spread the word, friend.
Oh, wait a minute, stranger.
Si, senor, tell us more about this fine thing.
Well, it happened officially September the 9th in Washington. California's a member of the Union.
When was this news received on the West Coast?
Oh, news like that travels fast. Los Angeles was celebrating 5 days later.
The 14th?
That's right. Spread the news, friend.
Kid, that's wonderful news. Golly smokes. What's the matter? Aren't you glad we found out?
I will be if we found out in time. Let's get back to Fort Mojave.
But, kid, we just came from there.
Well, Carson? The news that California had been admitted to the Union was received on the West Coast on September the 14th.
I still don't see why you...
I don't recall seeing any mention of such a historical event in the newspaper that Taggart showed us.
Yes, that newspaper was dated the 15th.
The day after the entire city of Los Angeles was celebrating. Examine the date on that newspaper, Major. I think you'll find a 1 has been added in front of the 5.
You're right. This paper was printed on the 5th, not the 15th.
Taggart had us all fooled. There's no shortcut across that area.
Then he was lying. He hoped to gain...
The entire payroll of the United States Army. You said yourself that news had leaked out 2 weeks in advance of our coming through.
Son of a pistola. That no good outlaw figure. He lose everybody on the desert, then rob them at his own convenience. Kid, what are we waiting for? The senorita and her grandfather.
What do we do, Carson? My boys are out after a Paiute raiding party.
We'll try to pick up their trail.
luck. If it wasn't for this doggone sandy storm, we might have caught up with them before dark.
I'm worried what the storm is going to do to the trail they leave behind them.
Say, that's right. Maybe by daylight there won't be any trail. I hope the senorita and her grandpapa are more comfortable in their wagon.
A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead.
St. Luke, chapter 10, verse 30.
That's right, Grandfather. But a certain Samaritan as he journeyed came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him.
Verse 33, the story of the Good Samaritan.
That's right. Now, you better get some sleep, Grandfather.
Yeah. That Good Samaritan fella back at the fort.
You mean El Toro?
And Kit Carson. He really did us a good turn.
It's not exactly the same. We haven't fallen among thieves like the man in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
How are you getting along in here? Thought I'd see if everybody was comfortable.
Comfortable as can be expected, I guess.
Do you think the storm will let up by morning?
Yeah, I think it will. The wind's changing. We'll be moving again at sunrise. Night.
Good night,
Good night.
Mr. Farragut.
Are you all right, Grandfather?
Can't complain, Sally. Feeling fine.
Rest here for half an hour. I'm going to ride ahead and make sure of the trail. You think there's a chance we're off it? No, I'm just going to make certain of some landmarks, that's all.
That windstorm rubbed out every sign we could follow.
Sure didn't help us any.
Now, you men ride on ahead and find a good place for the ambush. When I see your signal, I'll stop the wagons.
It'll be easier than shooting fish in a barrel.
That's why I planned it this way. And don't worry about that lieutenant. I'll take care of him. You just concentrate on getting rid of those soldiers.
What about the girl and that old man?
They won't give us any trouble.
Find something?
The stone has been turned over recently. Maybe by a horse's hoof or a wagon wheel.
How can you tell that? No desert stone got an upside down that I can see.
The lighter side is the top. It's been exposed to the sun and the rain for a long time.
Every trip with you, kid, I learn something new.
We could just find another stone that's been overturned. We can draw an imaginary line between the two. That way we can tell which way the wagons were going when they went through here.
There's another one.
Rest your horses. How are we coming along? Couldn't be better. But into my calculations, the easiest part is from here on.
Sally.
Yes, Grandfather.
We'll be here a while. Might as well dole out the water rations.
Taggart's got them all set up. Let's go. And get help.
Go after him. Don't let him get away.
What's going on, Sally?
Still.
Little girls shouldn't play with guns. They might get hurt.
Sally.
Maybe I better check the old man while I'm at it.
No. No. No, leave him alone.
Were you?
Grandfather.
I go after him.
Taggart will be back for the payroll.
In that case, we'll get ready for him. Let's take a look at that arm.
What are you doing away from the wagon?
Never mind the questions. Did you get that soldier?
Yeah, he's buzzard bait back there about a mile.
Give me some of your water.
What water? We're as dry as a bone.
Unless we all want to wind up buzzard's bait, we'd better finish this job in a hurry.
Think you can drive the army wagon, Lieutenant?
Drive it where?
Well, Taggart and his men will cut us off if we try to get back to Fort Mojave. We've got to keep going.
But if there's no trail?
There's always a first time for everything.
That's all the money from the other wagon, Kate.
Well, how about the water?
Not enough to put in your eye.
Well, let's get going. A lot will depend upon you, Sally. Think you can do it?
Yes, I can do it.
Good girl.
Carson must be crazy. He's leading them further into the desert.
Sally, when you get to the next rise, head for a patch of green that you'll see way out in the desert.
All right, kid, I understand.
You mean maybe we get to Joshua Wells after all?
Taggart and his men don't catch up to us first. Here, take the horse.
I can still drive.
I know that. Come on, we haven't got a second to lose.
I go with you, kid.
No, you won't. You take the people on to Joshua Wells. I'll see you later.
Vámonos, señorita.
Get out!
Carson trying to get away with a payroll. He left it. It's ours.
I want some water.
The money's gone.
It's what?
Hey! All those in favor of a nice, cool drink of water, raise your hands. Lucky thing Taggart accidentally discovered a shortcut.
It sure is.
Everybody ready? Think you'll be all right, Lieutenant?
The patrol should be here any minute. We'll take care of our friends back at the fort.
We'll take Trader Bill and the payroll back as fast as we can.
Thanks, Kit, and good luck.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Lieutenant.
Goodbye, miss.
Adios.
Adios, Patrol.